Hello and welcome to Industry Spotlight with Creative First. Our guest today is Kanu Behel, film director and screenwriter. Kanu assisted director Dibaker Banerjee on the cult hit Oye Lucky, Lucky Oye and co-wrote LSD, Love, Sex or Dhokha. His directorial debut, Titli, has appeared at several international film festivals, including Melbourne International Film Festival, Filmfest Hamburg, and the BFI London Film Festival. Titli was nominated for the Caméra d'Or at the 2014 Cannes Film Festival, and it was the only Indian feature film in Cannes that year. He holds a postgraduate diploma in cinema from the Satyajit Ray Film and Television Institute. Kanu, welcome to this discussion.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The script of Titli was selected by NFDC for the Screenwriters Lab 2012, and the film won the Post-Production Award at Film Bazaar's Work in Progress Lab in 2013. How did this experience shape the development and eventual success of the film?
Yeah, I mean, in the middle also, it was at the co-production market. So it did the whole cycle. It was at the screenwriting lab first, then it was at the co-production market, and then eventually it was in the work in progress lab and won the post-production award. So Titli really, in many ways, was a Film Bazaar baby, through and through. I mean, the whole process for me was really, really interesting and magical because right from the so Titli actually got into screenwriting lab pretty close. I mean, it was an advanced draft. It was I was close to finishing it, so I think I was really lucky because I was not too early in the process, and I got the right mentor for my script at the right time, who could help me provide those finishing touches and talk about the meta of the script and talk about what it really means to me. Because a lot of the groundwork in terms of the story that I was trying to tell, the characters, the time and space that I was wanting to sort of play with within the film was intuitively very clear to me because I belonged to that space and I came from there. So I knew, the texture of what I was trying to say with the images and with the sound. But I think where the screenwriting lab really helped me is to figure and focus and zero in on really what the script meant to me at its core. And I think that helped to elevate it to the next level, where it became at the same time intensely local, and yet it had a universal quality to it. So I think that was a very, very interesting takeaway for me personally from the lab. And then, of course, being at the co-production market next year, or I think it was the same year, was also very interesting because it exposed the screenplay to many producers. Eventually, we ended up financing the film completely out of India, but it did help me for my next project, Agra, which was also at Film Bazaar in the co-production market. But just meeting a lot of people, not immediately from your own circuit, and expanding your world, that helped me a lot. And I'm not talking here too much about the advice per se I got on the screenplay itself at the market just before it was going to be shot. But that, the networking, expansion of your circle, and also, that became a window to understanding some of the rules and sort of the pegs of the international co-production world, which again really helped me with my next film, Agra, which turned out to be an India-France co-production. So, that was again a very, very, very beautiful experience for me. And of course, then eventually ending up at the post-production lab. Again, we were at a really interesting stage of making the film, where we had a 2-hour 40-minute cut, and so it was there but not quite there. And eventually the film ended up at 2 hours 7 minutes, so we were still like 32 minutes away from our final cut. So just jamming with mentors again, who were international editors, who were able to also, I think at that point, you've I mean, I had been editing for 8 months by that point. So you also lose a lot of objectivity with your material. You've seen it so many times. So just to have a fresh pair of eyes look at it, multiple pairs of fresh eyes look at it, was again very interesting. It helped to sort of lift the edit towards the final stage of where it eventually did reach. And then the post production award was pretty much the icing on the cake, because again it sort of helps garner some equity for a really small film that is trying to be bigger by just by the dint of what it is, and not the not the jing bang around it. So yeah, all in all, just traveling that journey was really amazing for Titli.
Tell us more about the Screenwriters Lab, for anybody who's going into it first time. What is the kind of preparation that one has to, do?
I think what, as I said, I think it really helps if you're not too early in your journey. Although I wouldn't say it doesn't help at all. Being at the lab at any stage, I feel you are with your script is an amazing thing, because the quality of mentors and the amount of mentorship work, the mentorship experience that they have is just amazing. So yes, you can go there at any stage, but I would say it really helps if you are 2 or 3 drafts into your screenplay already, because then most of your thoughts about the screenplay are collated, and you know the world slightly better, you know your characters slightly better. um, and that then ends up being slightly more productive. The thing is, if you're too early, so the mentors are also bouncing off you in many ways, right? They are not trying to make their film, they're essentially trying to help you make your film. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, the more you know your film, the more fruitful the workshop can be. So I think one of the things I would recommend is to just be slightly further in. If you're approaching the bazaar with a screenplay in hand, try to work on it as much as possible and know it as much as possible. And then while you're at the bazaar, I would say just keep your ears open, be very, very open. Sometimes points of views that are drastically different, or even 50% different from yours, coming suddenly out of the blue, can feel like, and especially sometimes the mentors are foreign mentors, and it can feel like they have a certain gaze on your material, which to a first time filmmaker or filmmaker early in their career, I've noticed that it's very easy to feel that, oh, but they don't know the world that I'm trying to do, or I'm trying to create. And I think that sort of approach to the workshop can be counterproductive. You don't have to take each of the ideas that they're suggesting, but I think to be really, really open, and to give yourselves time to for all the feedback to ferment, not be too opinionated. Then treat that week or 2 weeks, or a month of the mentorship as a listening period, like a pure listening period, and then allowing yourself to sit with that feedback. Sometimes can help dispel the early fog, let's say, of the gaze issue. And sure, you can sift the gaze issue as you like, but underneath it, then there is potential for sort of discovering a lot of feedback that can really help your script.
Film Bazaar is often described as a transformative platform for emerging filmmakers. Looking back, what do you think makes it so effective in helping films like Titli gain global recognition?
I think I can only sum it up in one way, which is that most filmmakers at Film Bazaar are indie filmmakers trying to break through. They're usually in their first or second film kind of stage, and the market is so huge. It's so big. There are so many producers, financiers, festival programmers, who are all out there looking for the next big thing or the next great film. And the fact is that they are not just looking in Bombay, or in let's say Chennai, or Hyderabad, or India, or Japan, or LA. They are looking the world over. They are looking at probably close to 2,000 to 2,500 films every year across the planet. And in that sort of environment, when you are sort of pegged against that, uh, being at a curated place like Film Bazaar by itself gives them a really strong signal that whatever they are encountering here is material that is already vetted, and material that can have that has a possibility for a certain degree of quality. So I think that just that opportunity and the ability to be able to participate in that platform is by itself, given this whole matrix that you're up against. I think that itself is almost like a golden egg that's in your hands.
What advice would you offer to emerging filmmakers and new participants at Film Bazaar?
Courage and honesty. Yeah, I think these are the two most important elements. I think one should always have courage to sort of stick to what you're trying to say and follow through with it. And no matter how difficult the material might be, no matter how uh, unseen or ununderstood or out there, then there could be moments where you feel like no one else believes in what you're doing. But to me, that is the first sign that you're onto something new, and there you're creating a new space. So always have courage in your own self, in the idea that has sort of struck you and that you're obsessed by and that you want to fulfill, and then have the patience and the consistency to follow that courage through as honestly as possible.
Are there any lessons from your own experience that you believe are especially relevant to navigate the challenges of independent filmmaking?
There are too many, I think, for me to be able to sum it up here. Um, yeah, I would say the again, for me, I mean, it's such a I feel it's such a difficult job trying to attempt something that's going to push the envelope, and in an ideal world, you're trying to push that envelope again and again and again and again with everything that you're trying to do. That sometimes it can get really overwhelming, because of the social, cultural, political context that we live in. I mean, it's the larger, it's a question of the times that we live in today. It can overwhelm you a lot, but I think, if you are choosing to live the life of an independent filmmaker, again, I'm repeating myself, but I think the only reason I'm repeating myself is because I want to stress the importance of the two things that I said. It all will eventually come down to your courage and your honesty, and the patience and the consistency of that courage and honesty.
Kanu, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us. And I'm sure you're going to be at Film Bazaar this year, right?
Yeah, I'll be around.
Hope
Yeah.
to meeting you as well.
Thank you.
Bye.
Lovely. Hope to see you there.